Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to People Perspective and the Pulse, where the mic stays open, the conversation stays real, and the poetry flows naturally. From headache to heartache to healing, headlines to home life, we're talking about it all.
I like the glasses.
Yeah, I changed it up this time.
Yes. I got
Welcome. I was about to say, now, yours are dope though. You got the red ones, and it matches with like everything. But don't you have like an assortment of glasses that match?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And I worked at a place that made glasses. That's crazy.
Right.
Welcome, everybody. What's going on? Happy holidays. This is our special Valentine's Day edition with People Perspective and the Pulse. We'll be discussing Valentine's Day and all that goes into it.
Yes. And so before we started recording, I was telling Chamber that one of my friends was like, "Oh, you need to find something that y'all don't agree on and talk about that." And then he said, "What did you say?"
I said, good luck. There's very few things that we don't agree on. Like I think you and I have. That's tough. Like there's things that we don't agree on, but then after we talk about it, I don't even want to say we agree to disagree. Uh, we think very similarly in some regards. How do I put that?
And that's what I was like, oh, we're gonna record this because I'm gonna tell you what it is. So it's not that we don't agree on stuff, is that we're open enough to each other to understand and see the other person's side of it. So it seems like we agree on everything, but when I don't agree with you, I ask for more information. Just like you, if you don't agree, you're like, well, explain that to me. And then we're able to see each other's side of stuff without being, that's not right, that's not, you're wrong, no, this is my opinion, this is what's gonna happen. No, we take time to listen to each other, and not just on the podcast. So even when we don't agree, because I've seen you tell me more about that. That's you.
Yeah. I try to figure that out. Yeah, but why? And then I think the other part of it is too, and I feel like that's a bulk of the reasons why a lot of people have so many disagreements and arguments is because they don't believe that two things can exist at the same time. Like for instance, maybe what it is we disagree on is it works for me, but it doesn't work for you. But I'm understanding enough to understand from your point of view, well, if I were you, I can see why you would say that. And then vice versa. Whereas most people, they're like, nah, I want it this way. I think that's a lot of, like, even in our political climate right now, it's the reason why a lot of people don't agree is because they're like, no, I want things this way because it would make my life easier, but they don't see it from anybody else's point of view except for that one. My perspective is the only one that's right, and I think that's what causes the disagreement. That's why I said it's very difficult for you and I not to agree, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to say, well, I mean, if that's what you feel works for you, great. Me personally, I wouldn't do that, but yeah, go ahead.
You ain't never told me that.
Yes, I have.
No.
You ain't never told me that. You'd be like, I don't think you should do that, nigga.
Oh no, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud. Don't do that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I guess, and maybe the fault that I have in this is that I'm taking disagreement wrong. Because, like, I always feel like the word disagreement involves some form of like severe conflict, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just from my own trauma that I always see it that way. Because that's why I said good luck, because you and I rarely have situations that we don't just like talk through. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. I don't
Most
get that.
disagreements are contentious and head-butting because people aren't listening. So there are things that we disagree on, but it doesn't mean we're going to have a disagreement.
Yes.
Because we don't agree. We're able to listen to each other and then be like, oh, okay.
That I agree with. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So with regard to this particular subject, I believe both of us agree on this. Of course, the overarching question is always going to be, well, so what do y'all think about Valentine's Day? Well, Charleston, what do you think?
My short, what I think is, no one should be told how to love you, or nobody should be told how to love me. Let's say that, or when.
That's my big thing is the win. I feel like it's in my humble opinion, this is again where we agree. It feels like you've condensed it down to this one time where it is a forced public display of affection for your partner
Mm,
when you've been showing them displays of said affection throughout the entire year, or you should be.
yes, yes.
And it's that one time where you have to, it's performative affection is what I like to call it, or
Hmm.
what it probably is called, where you have to show the world, yes, I do love this person, and see, this is how I show it by doing blah blah blah. You've spent the entire year um, cleaning up after them, fixing stuff, doing whatever it is for them, male or female.
Hmm.
And I guess the next question too that would come up is it predominantly uh, for men to give to women, from women to give to men, or for men and women to give to each other? Let's be honest.
Well, the I believe the answer is men give to women. What I think the answer should be, if you're going to celebrate it like anything else, people should be giving to each other, and not necessarily just bodily parts, because you can get that anyway.
I was about to, you know what? I was about to throw that grenade in there and be like, no, I think they're both giving to each other. It's just that one of us is given more monetary gifts, and the other one is just given what is normally given throughout the year anyway.
Or should be.
Right. Like, okay, so and that's why I feel like it's become so commercialized where
Yes.
people are kind of forced to say, oh, this is the special time. Why does that have to be special now?
Right. Right.
I guess that like you special acts happen in the bedroom now because it's Valentine's Day. So it's only gonna happen once a year. What about for like, or maybe it's my birthday, or maybe it's Christmas. Ooh, no,
For some
why?
people, it does only happen on those days.
I know, but why? Like that's
Unfortunately.
that's what I feel weird. Why is it? That just seems so strange to me. Like either you want to do it or you don't. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But who am I to say? But I think we should go into the history as to what it is. A lot of people don't realize that Valentine's Day, though many realize that it comes from Saint Valentine, they don't know why. The
Yeah. And
original,
there's more than one Saint Valentine, apparently, is what we found out. There's at least what, three, four?
there's at
I
least
don't
three
know.
or four, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
the stories have kind of merged all together into one. It
Mm-hmm.
started as the festival of Lupercalia, which is supposed to
Yes.
be from February the 13th to the 15th,
Time
and
out.
is
If we're wrong, blame Google, because that's where we got our
oh
information
yeah,
from.
that's where we got our
I'm
information
not
from,
saying this is truth and fact. This is just what we researched and what we found.
and we discovered. So
Yes.
this is based on we've watched a few videos and we've seen a couple of things. So please challenge us so that way we can learn to be better. So based on our research, the information that we've retrieved says that this was originally based on a pagan festival called Lupercalia that ran. It was in Rome from February the 13th to the 15th. It was supposed to be a fertility festival for a few Roman gods, Faunus, Romulus, and Remus. And this was supposed to be the time that you're supposed to fertilize the people, so to speak. You can draw whatever inference from that you want. There was one point where King Claudius II decided that single men fight better than the married men. So he had actually outlawed marriage for a while. And then in steps St. Valentine's, who said, well, I'm going to marry y'all anyway. I don't care what he says. And that's when the execution happened, where Claudius II actually had St. Valentine's murdered. We did locate another one. So there is somebody called Galentine, who is the lover of women, and they kind of merged the names together since they're so similar to each other. We did find that the first recorded Valentine, at least based on what we saw, was in 1415 by the Duke of Orleans. His name was Charles, Duke of Orleans. You want to give him a little bit of background on that one?
Um, yeah, he was apparently in the 100-year war, and
Hmm.
he was imprisoned. And so he was writing his wife letters during he got captured during the Battle of Agincourt. I don't know if I'm saying that right, because it was during the 100-year war. He was in prison for over 25 years, and the poem that they say is for Valentine's Day never reached his wife. She died before she got the poem. So you want to read it, or you want me to read it?
I can read it.
Oh, I want to read. I'll read the first half,
Okay.
and then you can read the second half.
All right.
I'm gonna stop at a certain point. So I am already sick of love, my very gentle Valentine. Since for me you were born too soon, and I for you was born too late. God forgives him who has estranged me from you for the whole year. I am already sick of love.
My very gentle Valentine. Well, might I have suspected that such a destiny thus would have happened this day? How much that love would have commanded. I am already sick of love, my very
Very
gentle Valentine.
gentle Valentine. Ooh, I like it.
Yeah,
You got
but
some poets over here.
yeah, but she died.
Before she got it, yes, she did.
Yeah, so you put all that energy into a piece that she didn't even get the chance to know it existed.
But we
And
do.
then
We
and
got
then
the
how many
chance
more
to.
did he write after that?
It said he wrote over 60 love poems to her while he was in
If
prison.
that's not sad, I don't know what is.
It is. It is. But he did
And
love
then
her.
she died.
Yes. And it's not that. So this kind of goes back to one of our other things, because remember, this was like the 18 no, this is 1400s. This was
14, 15.
So it took that long for wherever this letter was coming from to get to her, that she didn't even live to get it. That's how long it took to go from one place to the other. You
But
know,
nowadays people complain because you don't text back fast enough.
right, right. This man was imprisoned, writing his wife, and she never received any letters. Didn't know what happened because it took so long for a letter to get from one place to the other.
I just feel like affection and love has become so performative with all the different versions of ways that we're supposed to be able to do it now. That's what it boils down to, and that's where a bulk of my angst comes from for it. Like even whether I was in a relationship or not, whether I was married or not, I mean, it always annoyed me that now I'm supposed to show you this overabundance of affection in some form of monetary exchange in order to make you feel special because not enough people have seen that I care about you.
Right,
What?
right.
What do you mean? I got to do something special today? Like, and I used to do interesting stuff. I remember one time for Valentine's, it was cold and we did it was a haunted house.
Mm,
We went to a haunted house. It was so much fun. That was
yeah,
so much fun. Now, I agree with stuff like that, man. Maybe you should like take the time to use that moment. I don't think there should be so much emphasis on the monetary amount. I think the
materialistic
emphasis should be
things.
on what
Yeah,
is happening in that relationship to mold that relationship. You know what I mean?
yes, yes,
Like that's what I think
absolutely.
should be special.
I think a lot of these holidays have been made. I mean, and it's all about consumerism. They talk about it, even Christmas. Then they go into Valentine's. Like a lot of it is made up. Even the diamond ring is made up to make
Thanks
people.
to beers.
Yes, yes.
For those
So
of you who don't know that De Beers is actually the ones who came up with the whole diamonds are forever ideology in order for them to sell more diamonds. And that created this whole stir of everybody having to purchase diamonds. The whole you have to spend what 2 times your salary in order to buy a diamond ring. All that stuff came 3 times. Yeah,
3 months.
no. A 3 month salary? Yeah, no. That's wow. Wow. On your finger? No, ma'am. That is
Yeah.
a house payment.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and it's just I and this is my personal opinion. I don't like the commercialism of things. And I don't think I should be doing something or celebrating something or whatever because I'm told to and
Right.
because the world expects me to. The only holiday I celebrate, okay, well, it's 2 or 3. Veterans Day and my birthday. That's it.
That's it. Everything else feels so commercialized. I know it feels weird, but like all these so-called, oh, this is such a big religious. No, it's not. It's whether it's paganism or it's commercialism in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
It's some way for some either government or business or religion to gain a following of money, and that's what it boils down to for me.
And do you really know your partner if what you get them is what the world is expecting you to get them? Or if they're expecting you to give them 1,000 flowers, roses, whatever and that's if you know what they like. You might not even know what they like. So people just go out and buy stuff. You're buying the candy, you're buying the card, you're buying the flowers. Guess what? I don't like candy and
Candy,
flowers.
yeah,
I can deal with a good card if it's well written, but
yeah,
candy, my nose is sensitive. I don't eat. I've had a lot of I've had braces and Invisalign and all. I'm not eating a bunch of candy. Like
mm-mm.
none of that stuff. I don't need none of that stuff. But
Right.
it's now if somebody is thoughtful and they do something that I want, that I like, that I need, that's different. But if you just out here doing the status quo and because you think that's what everybody is supposed to do, then what is the point? You could have kept that to yourself.
You could have kept that to yourself. And I am a very practical guy. I prefer practical stuff. I don't like people giving me gifts just to give me a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the gift have some practicality involved in it. That's what makes me happy. I try my best not to be wasteful. I still like nice things. I like nice watches and stuff like that. But if, like, for instance, if you're gonna get me a watch, get me one of the watches that I was already looking at, or that because I have a line of watches that I like. And I collect those watches. Just get me one of those. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Go out
or
and
shoes that I
grab
like, things like
anything.
that.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Don't just grab anything just because oh, I see he like watches. I'm gonna go over here and get this and not even put thought in it. You don't know your person well enough. And that is the whole thing about it. And I know people are like, y'all just mad because y'all ain't got Valentine's. So I ain't mad. I'm all right. So even
I'm
when
not mad at all.
me and my now ex, we did not celebrate Valentine's Day when we were married. Before we got married, none of it. Because I'm like, if you're not showing me all year, you might as well not do it then either. Because what's the point? If that's the only day you're gonna be like, oh, I love you. This is no. Mm-mm. You love me every
I
day.
I I had an ex one time. I was trying to, like, we were already beefing with each other, and I'll never forget it. And she was like, "Man," and I said, "Can we just like try to see eye to eye just for a little while, just with it being Valentine's and all?" She's like, "Man, fuck Valentine's," and I was like, "All right," and I just I was like, I thought I could at least get a little bit of range there, and it didn't happen, and I was like, "All right, you know what? I give up. Whatever."
Yeah, yeah. And I remember at one point, so this is after I was divorced, and for some reason, almost every Valentine's Day it was iced over here in North Carolina. I think you were here
Hmm.
during that time, weren't you?
Yeah.
It was like almost every Valentine, and I would not be dating somebody on purpose because I ain't feel like being obligated to go out with
Dealing with
you,
the mess.
be out here with all these people trying to do the same thing at the same time,
Yeah.
all this other stuff. And I would have like dudes trying to get ice in with me. Oh, I just want to come over and sit and talk to you for the dude is about the ice. I said, no, because some men are just as sentimental about Valentine's Day as some women, and they didn't want to be alone. You gonna be alone because you can't come over here.
It's the same. It's the same level of loneliness that you felt yesterday. Just get used to that and deal with it today. What are you talking
Right.
about?
If it's multiplied today, that's your fault because it's your
It's your
perception
fault.
of what you thought this day was supposed to be, not the actuality of what the day is, which is another freaking day.
And the odd thing about it is, and you bring up a valid point right there, is that most of the time a lot of the struggle that you deal with is all right here.
Yep.
Like you created the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Did your partner actually do something wrong, or did you create something for them to do wrong by you?
Yep.
Like, was it
Yep.
actually something bad? Did you misunderstand what they said?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And what is the point? Like, how many times has a relationship been on the brink, and Valentine's Day was supposed to bring it back from the brink, and when in reality, Valentine's Day actually drug it deeper into the hole?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Like, you know, it's
One day
bad.
is not gonna fix a whole year of
It's never gonna fix a whole
miscommunication
year.
and not liking each other and arguing and not. It's not gonna fix it. It is
Mm-mm.
not. It's just
What
you
was your
pretend.
best Valentine's though?
I don't have one. I don't. You never really
I
celebrated.
have to admit, I did have one Valentine, and now for those who don't know my history, I have been married twice. I've had two or three very serious relationships, but I can think of one time where the absolute best Valentine's Day I ever had was a date with a close female friend of mine.
Mm,
No pressure. She didn't have somebody, I didn't have somebody, and we decided to go out. I think it was in Virginia. Yep,
mm,
it was. We went out on a friend date. There was no pressure. She wasn't trying to kick it with me. I wasn't trying to kick it with her.
mm-hmm,
And I mean, we laughed all night. It was me, her, another homeboy of mine, and a female friend of his, and all four of us, all friends, went to this really nice restaurant downtown. And man, we just had a straight ball.
mm-hmm.
And I think that's the bulk of where it comes from. But my angst comes from is because Valentine's Day brings up this like undue pressure to do something that you've basically been showing your partner or should be showing your partner all year round.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we just had a great time. Everybody went home and, nothing happened and it was just great. And that was the best time I had ever had. Every other time felt like it was insanely performative for no reason.
Yep. Yep. It's like people are expecting stuff, and then you're trying to figure out what they're expecting, and they want this, they want that.
Or you'll ask questions and they can't give you a straightforward answer.
Yeah.
And you'd be
Yeah.
like, "This is ridiculous." I have gone on some like mini vacations. I went to one place. It was very nice, um, and like there was a private massage and all that kind of stuff, and it was great. We spent some time together. That was with one partner, and she surprised me with that when she caught me off guard. But then I think what put a dampers on it afterwards is the relationship itself. You're like, well, what was all that for if this is how you actually feel?
Right.
And I think the importance that we're both trying to say is don't get so caught up in the performative part of Valentine's Day that you
Mm-hmm.
forget to actually communicate with your partner about how you actually feel about certain things. Like
Yep.
that's what it really boils down to. Like, do y'all like you might you might gel, but how do you really gel? Like, do y'all actually link properly? I think that's
Yeah.
what's the most important. Or are you just doing it for the show?
Right. And that goes into, like you said, with the diamonds, and because even when I got married, my ring was my birthstone. So
Hmm.
because I was like, I don't want a diamond.
Yeah,
Don't buy
yeah.
me a diamond. Don't go broke over none of this. And same thing with the wedding. I'm not gonna say I don't believe in weddings because they do exist. However, don't put so much into the wedding and not the marriage.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of people will put more into the wedding and not thinking about what's going to happen after, because once you've walked down the aisle, you said those vows, you've had this reception that you spent all this money on, and these
Hmm.
people eating up food and they in the corner talking about you and your
Yeah.
husband, your wife, your parent, they talking about all of y'all. I said, I will
Hmm.
never spend a bunch of money for people to sit around and talk about me. I'm not gonna pay you
Eat
to
and
talk
talk
about
about
me.
me.
Yeah, you gonna talk about me from through the screen, because that's where you gonna see everything from, because you gonna see pictures and
Basically, they showed up to a free party.
absolutely. I'm not throwing a party for you to talk bad about me,
Nope.
Because in actuality, a lot of people that are your friend or all this other stuff, they don't care. They don't care nothing about you.
I don't care nothing about you. I can
And I
guarantee you
figured that out at one of my girlfriend's wedding. And like she got married like right before I did. And me and my ex, we were then discussing what we wanted to do. And I was like, I don't really want anything. Like, I don't want anything. And as I was sitting at her wedding, I was listening to people. They talked about the food. They were talking about the people that was there. They was talking about outside. And I think it was her family. Like, so I say that because I'm close enough friends to check people with her to check people. But if it's family, how you check their family? Like,
right.
That's your family. I think I told her about it later. She was like, "Oh, that's my cousin so and so." I was like, "Well, they ain't do nothing but talk junk the whole time
The
they was
whole
there."
time.
Yes, I'm not paying for people to sit back and talk junk. And
Talk
to
junk
be
about me.
honest, my mama would have been probably one of the main ones saying talk. So nope.
Ain't no chance. Ain't no
Nope.
chance. You spend all that money just for people to sit around and say all the bad stuff about you. No, say that stuff to my face.
They won't.
How do you actually feel?
But you won't be eating food I paid for to do it. You won't be doing that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You'll be seeing it on a social media things. Oh, she done get married. Look at her. She made me sick. Yep, you're gonna be saying it from right at your computer screen.
From somewhere
or your
else.
phone.
Now, with all that said,
yes,
I don't believe either one of us are saying that you should not celebrate it, but celebrate it in your own way.
Yes.
Don't necessarily celebrate it the way everybody else is celebrating, and don't go broke trying to prove something. Do it in such a way that you don't have to, like, you're not doing it as a performance for those other individuals. Like, oh, well, I got to send her flowers to her job because, that's what I got to do. I'm not sending you flowers to your job because it's Valentine's Day. I'm sending you flowers to your job because I wanted to send you flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it should be. I wanted to buy you lunch. I wanted to do something special for you just because. And if it happens to also be Valentine's Day, okay.
Do something that is thoughtful, that is in line with your partner. Something that you know, and that goes back to you got to know your partner.
That's right.
And some people do, some people don't. Yeah. And sometimes Valentine's Day is when you figure out if you know your partner or not. Because if you get,
what do you mean by that?
So let's just say your girl, I don't know. Let's say nails. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay.
You know where she gets her nails done. You know she's going to get her nails done every month. You go there, you get her your certificate, or you pay up, get her nails done, right? So she ain't got to pay for her nails for like 3 months or something, 2, 3 months, even one.
Yeah.
You go there, you pay her nail technician. She going anyway, and she looks at you like, that's it, or I can't believe you didn't do nothing bigger. I can't believe you couldn't have got me this. Why didn't you do this? That shows you who your partner is. Cause guess what? They didn't need help with their nails, but it's a help. Guess what it's taking? It's taking $100 off your plate for that month.
Yep.
So it, to me, that's thoughtful. To some other people, that's oh, you could have done more. So
but you know what, though?
Anybody out there, I go to nail, go ahead and pay Crystal up for 3 months for my nails. I'll be very appreciative. But go ahead.
But with that said, in my opinion, I don't feel sorry for those people anymore because, nigga, you knew who you got married to.
Yes.
I take that back. There are some people who have been in this performance stage long enough where they've hidden that side of them up to a certain point, male and female. You might not see that side of them until much, much later in the relationship, until it might be quote unquote too late.
Right.
But if you saw small signs of the way they were acting beforehand, come on, man. You gotta set your boundaries, set it hard, and make sure it's known. Oh, you don't appreciate this now? They ain't gonna appreciate it later. If you see glimmers of that in the beginning, If you with somebody and in the beginning of your relationship you're both not making enough of a amount that would warrant you spending 3 months of your salary on a ring, but she's perfectly fine with that, or he's perfectly fine with having a lavish ring and a huge, wedding at the expense of both of y'all, blowing all this money just so they can show off. Like, you need to take note of that because that's going to happen again. This isn't going to be the first time. It's probably going to be the third or fourth time. It's going to be the first time that happens that you see it. But like, you got to pay close attention to stuff like that because most relationships do fall apart because of a lack of communication and financial stress that happens all the time with everybody. Because let's be realistic. We can pretend like money isn't anything, but money is actually something. It's not the money that's the root of all evil. It's the love of it. And a lot of people soak a lot of their effort and time and energy into trying to uphold this image that they don't really have, or that's not worth upholding. The image you should do that. I think that real relationships show true without you having to show them. I think there was a study that was recently done that said the more lavish the wedding, the more likely it is to end in divorce. And that's a real study. The more expensive the wedding was, the more likely they ended it in divorce. There was another study that showed that couples who post every nuance of their relationship, I think you and I talked about this, every nuance of their relationship on social media are not the happiest couples.
Oh,
they're trying to convince you they are.
Right. I got a friend, he's like, chicks will be like posting with their husband one minute and in his inbox the next time. And he's like, did you just post with, why are you, what is, how are you?
Ain't gonna lie to you, I've seen it myself. I've seen it myself. And I would be lying to tell you that over time did not have an effect on my opinion of relationships. Not gonna lie. Because I'll see y'all on social media showing one thing, and I know for a fact that ain't how you is when y'all ain't on social media. I know for a fact, and it just blows my mind. It's like, well, what was the point? And again, like I've always adhered to, both. That's for both men and women. There's some men that are out there like, oh yeah, that's my baby, that's my girl, that's my love, that's my heart, blah blah. And then on the flip side, you see that Negro is in the streets hoard.
Right.
So,
and sometimes those are the main ones. It's always, if in a group of men, 9 times out of 10, I can tell the ones that are taken or married, not necessarily taken, because those are the ones hollering the most. The single men ain't got much to say at all. The married ones, they got everything in the world to say. They got all kind of conversation. They got everything. And I'm like, why are you
I think it's a matter of they ain't got nothing to lose, or in their mind they don't have anything to lose. So in other words, they're like, so I'll put it this way: they feel like I've already got one.
Absolutely.
So if you say no, it ain't that big a deal. I still got one. Don't matter. But the single dudes are like, this might be my only shot. So
I'm gonna just chill. I'm
gonna just chill.
And
see what happens.
He's gonna do all the talking over
vibes.
here. And I'm like this. I'm like, which one's single? Because I'm not about to talk to you. With any of them over there. But I mean, I've told you my philosophy about the nothing to lose crew, right?
I believe so, but let's explain it to the crew again. Explain to these individuals the nothing to lose crew.
The nothing to lose crew. First, there's the married men. They got nothing to lose. And the first ones to talk to you, because either way, they going home. You talk to them, they going home. You don't talk to them, they going home. They ain't got nothing to lose. Number 2, the young boys. Young boys ain't got nothing to lose. They out here. They having a ball. They gonna talk to women. If they can get them an older woman, good for them. But if they can't, they gonna go over to one of their little jump off's house and they still gonna have their little young thing. So they ain't got nothing to lose either. So yeah. And the third one is what I call the dirty old men. I know it sounds bad. They probably about my age. So,
Nigga, that's
and for
me.
me,
Hold on now.
okay. So
What you got to say about us?
for me, I call them the dirty old men. So when they talk to me thinking that I'm younger.
Mm-hmm.
And once they find out that I'm not, they ain't got nothing to say. And they don't have anything to lose because guess what? They're not gonna talk to us older ladies. They gonna see, they gonna be like, oh, you how old? Oh no. And then they gonna go over and keep going till they can find somebody young who's gonna pick up on their game and they can take home and be with. Cause you know, they need somebody younger who they think they can get over on. But I'll tell you what, these young girls is getting smarter and smarter every day. They have videos like, I don't want you, Earl. Like, oh my goodness, I've seen some videos, them young girls talking about they don't want these old men, but these old men keep trying. Like, y'all, you know, get what you get whoever you can get. But I'm not even gonna say stay in your lane because some of them I don't want neither. So
I was waiting for you to say that because I was gonna pounce because I was gonna be like, now you know good and full well.
yes,
Man.
when I was in my 40s, them young ones would be coming. Like they would. I remember one time, I always tell this story. I probably told it on here one time. I was at CIAA one time and I was walking down some steps and this little boy stopped in front of me. And I say little boy because he was a little boy. I was in my 40s. And he was like, oh my goodness, how are you? How you doing? Can I talk? I was like, how old are you? He was like, oh, I'm 21. You know, so I said, you too young. And because so I'm coming down the step, he coming up the step. So he's a step down. And so I can see him, but I'm not looking behind him because people are walking up and down the steps. And then why his twin brother pop up from behind him and said, what if it's two? I said, he said, what if it's two of us? That makes
They
more
done
than
ran that game a few times,
what?
sister.
I said, you know what?
They done ran that game a few times, and I can guarantee you it's worked.
Oh, it probably has. They were cute
I
though.
guarantee you.
Yeah. I was like, oh, y'all are so cute.
Mm-hmm.
It kept going because it was too young.
So the opposite often happens to me. I don't go looking for younger women. They just automatically assume that I'm their age.
Yes.
And then the older women avoid me because they think I'm younger anyway.
Yes.
Like I'm about to be 50 this year.
Yeah. But that's not the opposite. That's what happens to me. They think I'm younger.
Yeah, but they still approach you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So,
They approach me because they think I'm younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But the young girls are like, they'll put out they'll speak and they'll be like, hey, what's going on? And I'll be like, well, ain't nobody else paying me no mind. So
Been there.
I'll have I will have a conversation. We will get into a nice discussion. The older women are like, well, I ain't trying to find no old man, and you too young for me. And I look at them and I go, do you even know how old I am? And they're like, oh, you such and such. And I'll be like, no, I'm actually older than you. Man, you should see the look on some of their face.
Right. Right.
So it's a matter of preference. And I think the weird thing too nowadays is preference. Preference is not even a real thing anymore. Like some people are allowed preferences and other people are not. Like you have to fall in the right category of preferences in order to find somebody nowadays.
Right. Right. And then you can't say your preference out loud because you discriminating if you have a
Because
preference.
whoever's not in that category, they feel discriminated against. And I'm like, well, I don't want somebody who fits all the preferences. That's stupid. I know
Right.
what I like. Like either you like mustard on your hot dog or you don't.
Right.
Can't have both.
What is wrong with mustard? Why you doing this?
Why
You
you
didn't
don't
say
like
nothing about
mustard?
ketchup.
Oh, you
What you
discriminating
mean?
against mustard? I just don't want mustard on the hot dog. Is that a
I
problem?
put mayonnaise on mine. Don't judge me. Stop it. I see it. I see it.
Well, I'm as a male, I'm not allowed to eat hot dogs at all. So we live in this super homophobic generation where anything that even remotely comes across as a glimmer of phallic, and then all of a sudden you become gay. And it's weird how we associate things with homosexuality that have absolutely nothing to do with sex at all.
Right. But
Using an
that goes
umbrella
into
outside when it rains.
yeah. But that goes into the mindset of why are people so obsessed with what somebody doing in their bedroom? That's the whole other thing. That's a whole other topic. We ain't gonna get into that because we can probably get in trouble on that topic. But it's still
No, I don't
no
think
matter.
we would.
They find a way. They would find a way.
It's possible.
Yeah, somebody will find a way. Oh, well, they said this and not this, and they said it all boils down to why are you so obsessed about what somebody
Is
grown
doing in their bedroom.
is doing in their bedroom with another grown consistent? You gotta specify because then they're gonna be like, well, what about this? What about
Right. A grown
grown
consenting
consenting
adult.
adults? No matter the number.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
I
Not
did
too
hear
long.
it. I did hear a discussion go back and forth about polyamory. And
Mm,
I was listening to, and I don't mind calling names. I was listening to Jess Hilarious,
mm,
and she was talking about Neo,
yeah,
and
he has.
she was dogging out all his girlfriends. And and my attitude is, if you ain't dating none of his girlfriends and you ain't trying to date Neo and you don't know that man, why does it matter to you? Like, you are allowed your opinion. You can think it's disgusting for you,
Right,
but just
right.
because you think it's disgusting for you, don't downplay somebody else's situation that's never going to touch you
Yes.
ever, because
Yeah.
it's not something that you're involved in. So why do you
Right.
care?
And for me, I help people in all types of relationships. So guess what? That comes up too. And sometimes I have people hesitant to tell me about it. I'm like, look, you might as well go and tell me what you over there hemming and hawing about so we can get to it. And they tell me, and I'm like, oh, okay, we can work with that. Because relationships are still relationships.
I was just about to say, does it even matter at the end of the day? Because I've had friends come to me, because both of us are in a similar boat, in the sense that people often come up to us and want to tell us about their issues and problems and complications in their relationships. The only difference is you're licensed to do that, and I'm over here life coaching with it, and just saying, hey, look, I can give you a little bit of advice, and you can do what you want. But at the end of the day, like, it's still on you. So I have had people like want to tell me situations with somebody of the same sex, but they make it sound like it's somebody of a similar sex. And then when I get into it, I'll be like, hold on, what you said don't make no sense. And then they finally come out and they say, well, I mean, it is a such and such. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Well, why didn't you just say that from the beginning? And they were like, well, I
Right.
thought maybe you might be offended. I'm like, how about I be offended? It's not my business what you do in your bedroom. I don't care.
Right. We talking about the relationship. This is
Right. And you know what's funny? Out of the number of people that I've had the opportunity to counsel or speak with, like, it doesn't matter whether it's male male, female female, male, or male female. It doesn't it like all
yes.
of the dynamics are the same. There's
Yes.
somebody who's a dominant, and then there's somebody who's a little submissive, and that interaction between the two is always, trying to figure out, like, what can we do. And sometimes it switches and it
Yes.
changes,
Absolutely.
and it's
Depending
it's
on
it's the same
yeah.
way.
Depending on the topic and what situation they're in. Like some people lead in this way, some people lead in this way. And it depends on like somebody is finance driven, somebody is, taking care of the house driven, somebody could be
Hmm.
this driven. So it does and it should, have a
And the
balance.
same problems that they have in heterosexual relationships are the same problems they have in homosexual relationships, whether it
Yes.
be about interactions with the opposite sex or the same sex,
Mm.
interactions with the kids, whether it comes with
Finances.
finances. I promise you, every single one of the ones that I've dealt with have all been the same. And you'd be like, dude, the exchange is never different. It's just a matter of I feel like the fundamentals are knowing what your boundaries are, knowing
Mm-hmm.
your partner, and just being respectful about those things and having a very respectful exchange about it. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to see it in the very beginning, and that's what causes it to be so awkward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And working to
Especially when,
understand each other.
yeah, and nobody wants to. You might have a partner that's like, well, I want a big extravagant Valentine's Day. And, the other partner might be like, yeah, but I don't want to do all that. And they don't ever find that happy medium. Like maybe you can see it as, I don't believe in having a huge Valentine's Day celebration. However, I don't have a problem with us going on vacation. So if we just happen to go on vacation the same time as Valentine's Day, cool. Difference doesn't
Yeah.
make.
Yeah.
So what?
And then also going into when it comes to relationships, you kind of like me, we need space. We need our alone time and
Yeah, that caused me
finding,
more problems than anything, though.
and that's what I was just about to say, finding somebody who understands that and respects that is difficult,
Yeah.
because it's like, why would you not want to be with me? Like, and especially if a woman does it, if it's well, for me, I'll speak for me. I ain't gonna say all women, but
Hmm.
for me, I date men. So if I do it, I remember one time I was dating this dude. We were sitting in the living room watching football, and I got up and went in the bedroom. And he came back. What I do? You all right? I just didn't want to watch football. Like, that was it. It wasn't.
No, that's weird. And he's probably a guy that's probably thinking to himself that he expects his woman to be like up under his skin all the time. You ain't gotta be up under my
Mhm.
skin, man. Move, homie. You
Yeah,
ain't gotta.
or because I do believe that men have been conditioned by women that they've dated, that if a woman is silent, or if a woman walks away, or a woman does something,
There's a problem.
automatically she's mad at you. When with me, I just got tired of sitting there watching football.
And I believe that's a trauma response that a lot of men don't like. So,
Hmm.
and here's the weird thing. Um, men are often, at least nowadays, this is what I've seen, is men are now requested to show their feelings and to express themselves. But then when they express themselves, if what they express doesn't adhere to the typical stereotypes that people have already, the preconceived notions that they already have about how you're supposed to feel, then they get frustrated and feel like you're lying. And you'd be like, no, but that's how I actually feel. So it's not a big deal to you? No, it's not a big deal to me. Man, that's a lie. You probably feel like this and you just don't want to say it. If you feel like that, then what's the point of us having an exchange then? Like
Yeah,
I've literally gotten to the age now where if I feel like I gotta go back and forth with you too much, I literally stop talking.
because there's nothing to talk about. And if you're gonna tell me how I feel, you can talk to yourself.
Like the second that I feel like you are destined to misunderstand me, I,
Hmm.
s- I don't now, just to be clear, because I believe there was one time you and I were on a relationship panel together
Mm.
and we were talking about ghosting,
Mm.
and something I said about ghosting like pissed a bunch of people off, and I was like,
Because you
wait,
said you would do it. I'd do it if I have to. You ain't gonna
I
sit there. I was like,
absolutely.
oh.
And everybody was like, oh my goodness, what do you mean you ghost somebody? And I was like, I need you to understand, when I say ghost somebody, that is
Hmm.
my absolute positive last resort. I've
Yes.
gotten to the point where I've explained to you how I felt. I've said how I felt. You don't want to hear it, yet you continue to make an attempt to interact with me in spite of me telling you, hey, you're violating a boundary of mine. Please stop. And I'm begging you, please stop. And you won't
Hmm.
do it. After a while, I'm just going to stop responding because I will feel like everything that I've said doesn't matter to you.
Mm-mm.
And of the two people in this exchange, if my feelings and emotions don't matter to you, the one person that does matter is to me. So I will do whatever I have to do to protect my feelings, since you aren't going to help me do that.
Hmm.
And in my opinion, that's me protecting your feelings, because then I don't have to be mean to try to get you to go away.
Right.
Oh,
And
that dude was an
sometimes,
asshole. Was that dude an asshole, or did you just keep pushing his buttons until he gave you a response that wasn't what you wanted?
hmm,
Was she really that mean to you, homeboy, or was it the fact that because you asked her 36 times to go on a date with you and she finally had to throw a drink in your face because you got physical trying to get her to go on a date with you, that's when she became, that's when it became a worse altercation. Like,
Mhm.
be realistic.
Right.
Like, don't
Right.
give me a false report. I don't buy nobody's word nowadays.
Mm-mm.
Like, give me all the context. Let me know what happened.
Right. Right.
Yeah, she slapped you, but why did she slap you?
Right. She didn't just walk up to you and slap you out of nowhere.
Now, it's possible, but tell me that. Like, I need to know everything in context.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Everything.
Yeah.
Cause,
No,
cause
I'm with you.
just like you'll see some of these videos will come out. I saw one recently. It was a TikTok video, and I think it was an old case. And this girl, like in the video, when you see the video, the girl threw a drink on this guy,
Mm.
and the guy went to like duck it, and he got drink all over him. And his friend, like, whop, like punched her in the face, and
Oh,
everybody went off. Oh, he went too far, blah blah. And I said, hold on. One, I'm not condoning anybody putting their hands on somebody unless in self-defense.
right.
Okay. And I
Mm-hmm.
hate that I always have to preclude every statement with something like that in the first place.
Right.
However, I really want humans to stop pretending that you do not have a reaction to somebody doing something mean or vicious to you. Because I
Right.
promise you on everything I love, I don't care who you are. If you are a real man and a woman walks up and slaps the shit out of one of your kids, you ain't gonna tell me you ain't gonna want to at least punch her in the face. I'm not buying it unless you just don't like your kids.
Right.
I like that. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that. And yes, there are some people who are exceptions. Oh, well, there's never an excuse. Yeah, no, at 100%. Sometimes there are reasons for you to punch somebody in the face because some people don't get it.
But get what you said. There's never an excuse, but there absolutely could be a reason.
That's what I'm getting at. There
Yes.
ain't no excuse for it, but I give you a reason.
Yes. Yes.
Some of these
Absolutely.
people out in these streets have complex PTSD. Some of these men, and I'm gonna say it straight out. The men talking about women shouldn't put their hands on a man if they can't overpower him. Let me tell you something, sir. That woman might not be able to overpower you, but if she got a knife in her hand and she's got complex PTSD because she's been in an SA situation, she has all rights to stab you in the neck. And I promise you, I will high five that chick afterwards because you ain't got no rights to be putting your hands on nobody in the first place.
Right. And I think they say that like first. Like, nope. My mom always taught me don't put your hands on anybody. But specifically, don't put your hands on a man unless you expect to get hit back. So
Facts.
anytime that I hadn't put my hands on a man, I was ready.
Right. And then on top of that too, here's the other problem to that though, because some people will want to hide behind, and I think that we've kind of gone down this path because let's be realistic. During Valentine's Day, these are some of the things that occur during Valentine's Day.
Absolutely.
Um, you'll end up in a domestic situation. I think
Mhm.
a lot of times what happens is uh, a woman will say, "Well, I never put my hands on him." Yeah, but what did you say? And I'm not saying that there any amount of words that should force somebody to do something egregious to that point. But
Right.
I'll give an example. If you smart off to a cop and a cop hauls off and slaps the crap out of you, nobody bats an eye.
Mm.
But if you smart off to a dude that's 4 times your size and he hauls off and slaps the crap out of you, everybody's like, oh, that big dude shouldn't put his hands on her. Hold on, man. If I did it, I'm not like if I'm going to get mouthy with somebody who is physically more opposing than I am, I'm I'm willing to like stand 10 toes down on what I'm saying, especially if they're
Right.
totally wrong. But I feel
Right.
comfortable with what's about to happen next.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say
I'm going
this.
to handle myself.
My mama told me not to put my hands on nobody. This right here is lethal. Don't start none if you don't want none. And if this right here make you put your hands on me, that's a you problem. I don't care what you say. That's a you problem. I should be able to say whatever the heck I want to say as long as I ain't putting my hands on you.
Wait, hold on. That's where I'm gonna say flag on the play though, because you don't
not
have
whatever, but close.
you do have the right to say whatever you want. However, you also have the right to all the consequences that come with that.
Yes.
Because you say whatever you want to like a cop.
Right. I know you said that, but I'm saying that if we're having an argument, if we go there, all bets is off. I'm going to say whatever I want to say, and you should not be putting your hands on me because I said what now. If I put my hands on you, all bets are off. But in an argument, that's just me. That's what I think.
But here's the issue though.
Yes.
I would say I agree with you up to the point of as long as we're clear on, yes, you're saying I should be able to say whatever I want without you putting your hands on me. But is that, in some cases, is that a chance you are willing to take? If I do it, if I go into a place, like for instance, I can't tell you how many times I wanted to knock my boss's head off. I promise you I was going to put my hands on this man. And you know what I had to do? I had to check myself because I was like, I don't want to go to jail. And this is my job. So I actually issued an EEO complaint.
Yes.
Because I was legitimately going to fight because he talked to me like a dog in the street in the middle of the plant floor in front of all these people. And what made it worse was he was wrong. Had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And it was like the 5th or 6th time he had done it to me. And I was like, you know what? That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing came of it, but I was willing to deal with the consequences that came with that.
Right.
And the consequences that came with that was they dismissed the case and then they decided to come down on me.
Right. Yeah. And
but I had already started the process of finding another job and everything else. So I agree with you, but just be prepared for whatever.
I hear you. But I am gonna say this: I have gotten jumped on. My child's father started with me one time, and this right here was tearing his ass up. You hear me? You listen, the young me in this. Oh no, you didn't stand a chance. I was tearing him up. He felt everything. That man jumped, slam on me.
Let me tell you something. I don't know that side of you. And unlike most people, I don't want to know that side of you.
No.
I'm cool over here.
Yeah. And I was just talking to somebody about basic training. So, I talk about Fayetteville all the time. Y'all gonna hear more about Fayetteville and how much it's taught me moving as we go forward. But in basic training, back then we had all like, I think it's mixed now, but we had all women. The drill sergeants were men, but it was all women in the company, so they didn't mix everybody. When you went to basic training, was it mixed or?
Yeah, it was mixed. Well, we didn't do basic training. Ours was slightly different.
Yeah, because you were an officer. Anyway, so it was all women. So like I think they would just get together and think of different reasons to mess with us. So they would have all of us lined up outside the door, and like you standing out there, like they have like 3-4 girls go in, and then they would all come out crying. I'm like, what are they doing to these girls? And then like next 4 come in, and you go in there, lock it up, and then you standing there, and all they were doing was yelling in your face. They be about this far. Let me turn this way, about this far. Yelling at you, talking junk, calling your names, all kind of stuff. And I was just standing there. They was like, Private, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Private? Why you ain't upset? And I was like, and he was like, say something. I said, my mama yell at me all the time, and she can hit me. This don't bother me at all. And that man looked at me. He was like, get up.
She said you got the wrong one. I got enough trauma. This don't affect me, homie.
At all. Fayetteville has taught me that
you have to try again.
You can say whatever you want to say about me, as long as you saying it over there. Actually, you can say it right here. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say. long as you don't put
I
your
don't
hands
care.
on me, we cool.
And I will have to readily admit that there are times in my life where I lost my cool because of something somebody said. And I've gotten a lot better, and I have to say that martial arts has taught me a lot to help hone that part of me, but I'm not 100%. I'd probably put myself at about 80 to 90%. And there are buttons that you can push if you push them just right at the right time and you happen to be the right person in my life. And I will want to choke you to death knowing exactly how much and I think it it precludes how much effort, time, and energy that I've put into your particular life, knowing what resources that I've given you and what I've allowed you in my life. That is what makes the determinant. And you can probably say this too, based on
Yeah,
even the
I wanted to
altercation you
choke you a
said.
couple
You
times.
feel a certain way about what you said because you were like, well, if you feel this way, I get to say this.
Did you hear what I said? I said I wanted to choke you a couple times.
Oh yeah, I know.
I be thinking I get in my car, I'll be there at such and such time. I can choke him, punch him in his face, and drive back home and be
You know
fine
you.
with it.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you would be too.
Yep. Because there was a couple
But it's
times I wanted to.
well, needless to say, the feeling's been mutual. So whatever. Because you'll do something, and I'll be like, "Now she know good and full well. I'm gonna
Yes.
leave you alone this time."
Yes.
But yes, I've rightfully learned my lesson.
Yes. And I
To,
will
to
say I'm not as reckless with my mouth as I used to be. I used to be real
okay,
bad.
so I will say this: I've gotten worse in the sense that I have. I'm not even gonna lie to you because now I've gotten old enough to say that I have given everybody, like, I've been on this planet for 49 years. Y'all have lists of my poetry, y'all have interviews, you know me, you know people who know me. Y'all have gotten all the warnings you're gonna get. These next 3 decades that in 1 year that y'all get out of me for now, oh, it's all bets off now. You want like I'm not wasting time with having long conversations about why me and you shouldn't talk anymore. I'm not wasting time having long conversations about why I'm punching you in the face. Bro, you gonna catch this fade, you gonna catch this fade. Do you know that whole Anton Daniels, Corey Holcomb back and forth that they had just recently?
Yeah.
And I say recently, it could have been months ago by now, knowing my time frame.
That
However,
was last month. But yeah.
yeah. So, but like they went back and forth. And now all of a sudden, one of them threatening the other one and this, that, and the other. Look, we ain't got to do a lot of talking. I'm gonna knock your head off. Let's just do this.
Because y'all
Don't
right
ever
there.
threaten me
You sit right
physically.
beside each other.
Right. Oh, let's go out back because you ain't about that smoke. All right, bet. Even if I'm not about that smoke, you ain't finna sit here and say that to my face and I'm just not gonna do anything.
Because guess what?
No, let's
We
go
gonna be
fight right
about to
now.
smoke wherever we at. If you bout it, you bout it. If you
I'm
ain't,
not.
you ain't.
We ain't gotta go out back just so you ain't got no video.
Cause you right here. You in punching distance. This dude was right here. Just right here. Just bring it back right there.
But wait, but he moved to get that close.
Yeah.
And now you ain't that. I'm not gonna lie, that frustrated me. So now, and then apparently, in other news, now all of a sudden, videos of him striking other people have surfaced,
Yeah.
and I'll leave it at that. But see, that's what I'm saying. So if you want to get into it,
Get
and if
into
you
it.
know,
Get into it with
you've
a
gotten
man.
into it, you might as well do it, huh?
Yeah. Get into it with a man. Or the right woman. Like I don't know.
No, you can't ever get into it with a woman. A
I'm just
man
saying
fighting a
that.
woman is always a losing battle, even if he's in the right.
I'm gonna
Always.
say this. No, I'm just saying because he punched that woman in the face. Like you get the right one, like get a Clarissa or somebody who know how to take a punch and can whoop that behind. Like what I'm saying. That's what I mean by the right woman. Like do
Now that's a
so
fade they ain't trying to get. I'm gonna tell you that
right.
right now.
So I was watching this video. I don't know if I sent it to you or if you saw it. Apparently, like when the video starts, there's a woman, she has this man balled up. She done whooped his tail, got him balled up like under the car or something. And a bunch of dudes are coming to get her off of him. And she's crying and yelling and screaming. And she's like, where were y'all when I was screaming for help? Y'all been over there this whole time. When he was hitting on me, y'all didn't come over here. But now I got him down here on the ground. Now y'all want to come help. Get off of me. I'm going to beat all you. Like I don't know how she did it, but because you don't see that part. But apparently that man was fighting her and she was like, I was trying to get him off of me. Y'all wouldn't come help. Now y'all over here after I done got him. I was like,
well, okay, so I hate to do this, but
nope.
Here's where I'm at with that. There was a story that I heard, and it's a true story because I looked up the court case.
Okay.
And a Marine was walking down the street and he saw a couple get into a fight. I think I told you about this. And the man jumped in because the guy was beating the girls behind. It was his girlfriend. And he jumped in to fight the guy for hitting on the girl. And the girl turned around and shot the Marine and killed him.
Right.
So a lot of times people don't get involved in fights because they're like, well, I don't want to be a part of the fight now. Because and a lot of times because women will say, oh, well, because I've even seen here in Atlanta a situation where, you know, a man and woman get into it and she has the opportunity to escape and she's still standing there. And you be like, man, what are you doing? Because she got to get her point across. I ain't finna do all that. I'm not finna get myself in those situations.
I hear you, but in this instance, the woman said she was screaming for help. She said, I was asking y'all to come help. I was crying. In that instance, the lady probably
in that case, I'd have to see the situation. I just know my ignorance, I'd have jumped in. Then I'd probably jumped in.
Yeah, because she said I was asking for help. She said I was screaming for help this whole time, and now y'all come after I got him beat up under the car. So, and in that other instance, I have heard about that where people would jump in, but sometimes nobody asks for help. They see it and they jump in. And sometimes
but even the asking for help, they could be lying. There's a lot of times women be doing that, and they'll be
woman
crying
said,
wolf.
I don't think she was lying because she was in it. She said, I was asking y'all for help. Don't come over here now that he need help. Like, don't.
I mean, it don't sound like he need any help. It sounds like she need a beer. That's how I would have seen it. I'd have been like, good job, homegirl. Sorry I got over here so late. You need some help up? You want me to get you a beer? What you need?
Right.
Something for your knuckles? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because she handled him. And that's the thing that, like, yeah, I don't care. You shouldn't just go around punching people in the face without
probable cause.
But also, as celebrities, you need to think before you act. Like, as people, period, think before you act. Because I wouldn't want to be walking down the street and somebody come punch me in the face for no reason. Like, what the fuck? Like, almost curse. Like, what?
I feel like that's a necessity, though. I think I legitimately believe there are some people who deserve to be punched in the face.
There are. I'm saying I don't want to just be walking down the street and for no reason.
Oh, no. I totally agree. I totally agree. Like, somebody don't like your style or your manner of dressing and they want to, you know, be aggressive to you or something like that.
Yes.
Totally agree. I think everybody, like, your opinion of what you do in your life should be your opinion of what you do in your life. And then leave it alone.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Keep your hands to yourself. So this Valentine's Day, when you find yourself in a situation, if you don't like what your partner's doing, leave. Have a discussion, have an open discussion, have a conversation, and then if that don't work, leave.
But guess what? They knew before Valentine's Day. They didn't just find this out. They didn't just find, you know, like, this is who I'm dating, this is who I'm with, this is who this person is. You didn't just find this out today.
Well, I feel like one of the things that I've been hearing too, the epidemic of men that will start a fight or break up right before Valentine's Day just so they don't have to get anything. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing all that.
No.
For what?
Just don't get nothing and find out what happens.
Right. What's the point? Don't do all that. If you don't like her, don't like her. Just don't get her nothing.
At all. Like, you don't like her, leave her alone.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You don't want her, then don't talk to her.
You don't want me, then don't talk to me.
That's exactly why I said it.
Go ahead and free yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Just keep walking, bro.
Don't talk to me.
And you know
Go
what though?
ahead with someone else. Oh,
Let's be honest.
yes.
And I'm saying this because I've been guilty of this in my past as well. A lot of times men don't want to, and another dude said this in a podcast, and I thought it was so eloquent because I've never thought of it like this. I'm paraphrasing. But a lot of times men stay in relationships predominantly because of the amount of investment that they've had in this person, and they don't want somebody else to pick up where they left off.
Same thing for some women. They believe like
Facts.
I done been here this long, and I go back to my divorce court, and like, because people like, I don't want to start over. I done put all this time in. But as they say on divorce court, you're not starting over from scratch. You're starting over from experience. So you can leave this person, and because now you have experience, you kind of know what you want.
You know what to do better.
You can find somebody that you can take that experience with.
And that's with anything though, right? Like in relationships and everything else.
Yeah.
So even if this coming Valentine's Day is going to be a good thing or a bad thing for you, you got to take it from the standpoint of, is this experience that I can use in the next relationship and follow on, or in no relationship? There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you can find out something you don't want.
And just say, look, I don't want to do this no more. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, any ladies out there who would like a Valentine, Chamber 7 is single. And he's looking dapper with his glasses.
No, absolutely not. No. No. Look, gentlemen, she is free game. I'm gonna tell you that right now. However, I'm at least gonna tell you the truth. That's not one you want to tussle with if you ain't prepared for the conversation, okay? She's not moving forward.
Ladies, if you want to talk to Chamber 7, hit us in our inbox. I'll talk to you, and then we'll see. Because I'm gonna have to vet the ladies anyway.
That's a fact. You should vet them anyway, but yeah, no. Please, ladies, spare yourself the trouble.
No. I know what you like. I know the look you like. I know you like the intellect. I know. I'm not gonna say the look you. Actually, we talk about it on the next one. Which
the next show.
Yeah.
Looks is an interesting conversation. We should have that conversation. But yeah. Look, I'm gonna stay right over here in my happy home. I'm gravy.
Gonna get you a boo.
No, you first.
So my shirt that I have on today, it says, "Let your heart not be troubled."
That's pretty dope. Okay.
Yes. A good Valentine's Day shirt. So whether you have somebody or not, let your heart not be troubled, because love is right here with you at all times. And if you taking care of yourself and you taking care of you, your heart will not be troubled no matter what anybody else does.
That's a fact. I will say this from a male standpoint. Please, for the love of God, learn to love yourself first and foremost. And that's vitally important, because if you don't love yourself, you will allow your boundaries to be breached very easily. So first and foremost, know exactly what you want and need and desire before you step out there, and know who you are first. That's what I think is vitally important. And I'm speaking specifically to men as a man. So no offense to the ladies, but that's the man advice to men.
And as they say, don't get too healed, because then you just would never find anybody. I think I've reached that point.
Don't get too healed?
Yeah.
Wait, so you ain't got enough toxic in you to find somebody?
Not enough. I do not have enough in me to be out here dating. I don't have enough.
I don't think that's what it is, homie.
I've never slashed a tire.
The pool is full of piss. That's all.
Listen, I've never slashed a tire. I've never broken a window. I've never stalked anybody. I've never been vindictive in like, but this is from child on up. I ain't never fought over no man. Like, I don't have
That's
enough
what your problem
toxicity.
is. That's what your problem is. You ain't fought over no man. That means you ain't never really wanted no man. That's what it is. That's what your problem is right there. You ain't never put no paws on no other woman for being.
I ain't never
No,
grabbed
man. Don't go out, ladies.
grabbed a
Don't go
chick
out there
by
and
the
do that
hair, like
dumb
he's
shit.
mine.
Yeah, no. Look, fellas. Look, and real talk. I gotta say this. I've got close male friends of mine that have been through awful. Like I had to be honest. Of the breakups I've been through, I've been blessed. I have to say that I have been blessed. I've been very, very blessed because some of the stuff that some of these other dudes have gone through,
Listen,
horrifying. I'm like, I don't like. I look at what they went through, and I'm like, I don't even know how you made it, cause, bruh, I have thankfully never. Now I know for a fact, just by gut feeling, that there have been people who have betrayed me, right?
mm,
But I've never been one to walk in on somebody that I can't. Whew, man, like I can't even begin to fathom what that feels like. So, fellas, look, if you feel awkward about something, be open and have honest communication, but stop wasting your fucking time, please. If there's
mm,
any lesson that I can portray to anybody, please just stop. Just stop. If you feel like you gotta keep explaining yourself to somebody, just let it go. If you gotta keep begging somebody for their attention, just you know what? Don't worry about it.
yeah.
And it ain't even gotta be contentious. I'll even be nice to you afterwards. I'll be like, hey, we cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I'm with you.
I'm not
So
wasting my time.
right. So Valentine's Day, stay together if you can. Leave if you gotta.
Stay together if it's meant for you to stay together, but don't be afraid to be alone.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
That might be time for you to understand who you are. And then to your point about being healed, I would definitely say don't feel like you're healed until you find yourself in another relationship and then see how you react in that situation. Because a lot
Yes.
of people walking around talking about they healed and they still single. You
Yes.
ain't been in nothing to know if you healed or not there, bro.
Right. Because relationships do challenge you whether they're good or not. Even a good
'Cause
relationship would challenge you because now you have to put forth what you said you was gonna put forth. You have to show up how you said you was gonna show up.
don't talk to
So
me about the fact that your torn meniscus is all good and you ain't been back on the court yet.
right. I've had clients, they be like, I thought we worked through this already. I'm like, we did, but that was just preparing you to get back into a
That's
relationship.
right.
Now you're in a relationship. Now's the test. Now's the time. So let's get this
Let's see
work.
what you got, homie. Let's see what you got.
Right. Right. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank y'all. Um, enjoy your Valentine's Day. I will. I don't know what I'll be doing. Probably not much of anything.
No, I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna chilling.
Yeah, yeah. It's on a weekend this year. There's a
Yeah,
conference I want to go to. I hadn't decided if I'm going or not. I probably need to figure that out.
you might want you gonna go.
I should. It's here.
You
It's
should
here in
absolutely
Raleigh.
go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be right in here cleaning up these friggin' projects.
yeah. So,
Get this
all right,
garage
y'all.
empty.
Right. So, thank y'all for watching. Thank you again for watching People, Perspective, and The Pulse. Reminding you to like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, bring a friend, and let's do it again. Thank you again. Bye.